Hey guys, 412 Sports Cards here today, back with another video, and today is something completely different, a football card market overview. So I haven't even talked about football cards on this channel, but considering how hot the market is, and my own beginning to dabble in it, kind of wanted to give a brief overview and some thoughts that I had that I think are really pretty good insights, and I think are things that I haven't even heard people talking about on social media. So, get into it. We all know football's booming right now, and it's been historically quarterback dominated. We look at quarterbacks right now. 2017 Prism PSA 10 Mahomes, $6,500. 2017 PSA 10 Watson, $800, and the Lamar Jackson from 2018 Prism PSA 10, $2,500. So those are huge prices. A lot of cards have been inflated, since like Corona, and those are no exception. But the prices are high. But as money has been flooding into the hobby, particularly last month, I would say starting in July, late July maybe, we've seen position players who historically have had almost no hobby value skyrocket. 2016 Prism PSA 10 Michael Thomas is at $800, and McCaffrey from 2017 at $700. Those are huge. You look at that the McCaffrey is almost on par with Deshaun Watson. Obviously McCaffrey's been exceptional and Watson's had his struggles, but Watson's a quarterback, and usually that's what has sold in this market. With all this excitement building, I've gotten myself into the market a little bit. I've been buying just up some Juju Smith-Schuster. You can see these cards in the back. Instagram. But anyways, these cards are cards that I've had before. Big Steelers fan. Juju's my guy, my favorite player. So I just bought some for fun. But I've been doing more than fun. I've been trying to learn about the market a lot, and I've got some big ideas. So we're going to start with my first idea about what I like in the football card market, which is colored parallels. I'll show this one up. Juju Smith-Schuster. We don't have a ton of Prism numbered parallels in like as many as in basketball, because you don't have the stuff like Fast Break and Choice and all that. So I think there's a $2.99, a $1.99, and then it drops down to maybe $150, $99. So there aren't a ton, and so this one's at a $1.99, $50. Get that? I got this for base. So I've had this for years. But this is the base. See, 2017, these base look like silvers. That's the way Mahomes and the Deshaun Watson are. But base is 30. Out of 199 is 50. The price disparity there is insane. And I think what that shows is that this is not a mature market at all. This is a market that had previous, very little hobby activity, I would say. People who were knowledgeable. There are more knowledgeable hobbyists sitting around in basketball than there are in football, which is just beginning to bud as far as position players go. And I think what you're seeing there is a rush to base and a negligence for the value in numbered parallels. I think we all can agree that this market should mature a little bit with time, and I think these numbered parallels are going to outperform base by a substantial amount because of that. Now, some things to be wary on. I think that football card, it's important to realize, compared to basketball, that's the world that I'm coming from, So, and I think a lot of you guys will be too. A lot of you guys are basketball people. That's what my channel is mostly. Football, it's a lot lower volume, and as a result, it's lower liquidity. So, whereas you see basketball cards, these Prism PSA 10s, trading often, there's a lower supply in football simply because the sport doesn't have the international appeal, and honestly, it didn't have as much hobby appeal for a long time. Less cards being printed, less cards graded because they didn't have a ton of value previously, means there's a lower supply. So now that lower supply can be good. If a guy you have gets hot, it could mean that you could get a premium for your cards if they suddenly become desirable. But it really is dangerous in a pinch because it's hard to get your money back out. There aren't buyers lining up, left and right for a lot of these cards to the degree that there are in basketball. So if your investment starts tanking and you want to get out, it can be difficult. Or if for personal reasons, and I do not recommend this at all, but if you had overextended and had been spending, personal reserve savings on cards, A terrible idea. Don't do that. And you just had an emergency that your like personal finances couldn't tolerate. You need to sell your cards. It's a lot harder in football because there's very little volume compared to basketball, less liquidity. This is my big point here. This next point I want to make. I personally don't believe that the risk-return ratio is there in football. So this is kind of just a basic financial principle that the risk-adjusted returns across an efficient marketplace should be equal. So for something with a higher risk, you would expect to have higher returns, higher upside returns to compensate you for taking on that extra risk. It just makes sense. Obviously, we know that cards is not 100% an efficient marketplace. It can't be compared to a stock market like that, but I think the same principle still applies. Football has inherently much more risk from injury than basketball. Much more risk of injury happening and much higher risk of career-threatening injury happening in a season. As a result, common financial principles would tell you that for football cards to be as good of an investment as basketball cards are, you would want to see higher returns, and historically that just hasn't been true. Now, this could be the case that football's blowing up right now and we should be seeing higher returns, but historically football cards haven't returned the same level of investment as basketball cards have. And when you factor in the fact that they're higher risk and yielding probably a lower return, it just does not look like as desirable of an investment to me. Now, there's something to be said for the fact that investing in football cards right now might be more exciting and potentially even more profitable than, off-season NBA investing. I think there's an argument to be made for that, but I do think just in general, you guys need to be really wary of the risk-return ratio. I think what nobody's talking about right now when they're talking about football cards are getting hot, people are getting hyped up. We're not talking about the fact, for example, that running backs blow out their ACL and they're never the same. I don't want to be buying running backs. What if that happens to a guy that I have a $1,000 card of? I just get destroyed. I don't think that that's something that a lot of people are talking about right now when you see guys like Christian McCaffrey exploding in price. It's very risky, much more risky than basketball, and I would just be aware of that. All that said, I think that, something fell off my wall, that putting your money in younger guys is a lot more risky, but sticking it in older guys, I'm thinking Brady, established GOAT, Hall of Famer 100%, with still the chance to put more stats on the field, and also guys like Larry Fitzgerald, who career's winding down, might get, it might be start to get acknowledged on the air, but he'll be an all-time great. Players like that, ones that I'm looking at. Anyways, just wanted to drop this, give you guys some insight. Once again, I know some of you guys have been out here liking my videos more than normal, and I've really appreciated it. And it's really helped me. My channel's grown a lot. Got like 10 subs in the past couple days, which is huge for me. So if you guys could keep liking those videos, it really helps me produce more content and get excited. And I'll catch you next time.